You know, I've been having like this pain in my stomach for the past week or so. It's been making me really sick and really sad. Like my emotions are all over the place here. I keep switching between sad and just angry and frustrated, and it all has to do with something that happened recently. So if you've been paying attention at all to YouTube and what's happening right now, essentially what happened was that YouTube spent like a bunch of years, however long it was, breaking child privacy laws. And they settled. They paid a huge fine. And part of the settlement was that the FTC can now target specific content creators who are making kids content. And we either have to declare ourselves kids creators, or we have to face fines of up to $42,000 per video. Now, this is something that's affecting a lot of people, and it's affecting me. I know I'm small in the grand scheme of things, but I recently reached 60 subscribers, and I can't explain enough like how much that means to me, that there's at least 60 people out there who are willing to support me enough to where they hit subscribe. That means a lot to me. And I was really excited to talk about like what kinds of things I was going to do in the next year. But now it's like, I don't know if I'll even be here next year. Like, it sucks. Because recently, YouTube released all of like the guidelines to tell if you're a kids channel, and as it turns out, they're very vague, and YouTube isn't the one who gets to decide this. It's the government, and they get to look at every video based on its thumbnail, based on its title, based on its content in the first couple of minutes or so, based on what the algorithm says, and specifically if it talks about a character that's popular with kids, or it's talking about cartoons, or it's talking about animation, or it's talking about things that an old white guy who lives on Capitol Hill would think is for kids, then it's going to be marked as kids content. And if I don't mark it as kids content, then I get fined. And if I do mark it as kids content, then you can't leave comments, you can't subscribe. Well, you could subscribe, but you can't leave comments, you can't save the video in a playlist, you can't save it to watch later. I don't know what sharing is like, and it automatically means that I probably won't ever get monetized here on YouTube, which isn't the goal. It's not the goal to get monetized. It's just the goal was to always just share my love of comic books. I mean, I love these characters. I love superheroes. I love cartoons. I love animation. I love Disney. I love all of these things, and it's biting me in the butt now. And it stinks. So let's break this down systematically. First of all, what can we do about this? Well, not much, as it turns out. The most we can do is we can leave a civil comment on the FTC's comment website, and I'll put a link there, and there is a petition, because there's always a petition, and I'll put a link down there as well to let you know. I've done both of those things. All that's really left to do is to just make this video, which I am. And assuming that, against all hope that this does work, then they'll re-regulate things, they'll reconsider and specify some of these rules, make things more specific, let people know who is and who isn't a kids channel, and maybe give a better appeal system. But I don't see that happening, guys. So that's what you can do. Please do it. I did it. It's a small thing. Maybe it will work. Maybe it will get there. We'll see. But what does this mean for my channel specifically? Well, I've been giving it a lot of thought. And the way I can see it, there's only a couple of options. I either privatize all of my videos so that no one can see them and hope that that's enough. Maybe I'm small enough to ride out the storm and they won't notice me, but at the same time, I don't want to stay stagnant. I'd rather either stop or keep going. Or it's going to become this complicated system of I put a video up and I have to share it on the Facebook page, and then comments are going to have to be on Twitter, and it's just complicated and spread across like 4 websites, which might work, but I don't know. If it does continue, then things are going to have to change. I'm not going to be able to talk about Toy Story anymore, because despite the fact that Woody and Buzz are 25 years old, they're popular with kids now. I'm going to have to be really careful about how I talk about superheroes. And requests are going to have to be much different. Right now I have a request to do Pokemon. Do Pokemon Adventures. I want to be able to do that. I have a request to talk about The Incredibles. I want to be able to do that. I have a video that I already filmed. I even got like other people to help me with this. I had extras and other characters and stuff, and that's not going to be able to get edited and put on the channel. And what this all comes down to is that I'm feeling personally attacked. And I know that might be a bit childish, but hear me out. When I served my mission, and I don't talk about this aspect of it very much, but when I served my mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, which is something I believe in wholeheartedly, don't mistake the message here. There was this joke that went around where people would see me and I'd be excited about things like superheroes. I'm excited about cartoons. On the back of my name badge, I had some Woody and Buzz stickers, just because that's just the kind of thing I'm into. That's the kind of thing I like, and I've liked it since forever. And there was this joke that literally every person made. Now, people over-exaggerate and talk about how 200 people will make the same joke and pick on the same person. And for the most part, I believe that's exaggerated. That doesn't really happen. In this case, it did. Where everywhere I went, everyone made the same joke about the Bible talking about how when I was a child, I spoke as a child, and when I was a man, I put away childish things. And it was always directed at me and my particular interests. And that always bothered me. I never told anyone that it bothered me, because I don't like being an inconvenience, but it bothered me, and it was the source of a lot of stress that I don't think was very due to me. And now I feel like it's happening again, but this time it's not just a bunch of fun-loving 18 to 20-year-olds. It's a bunch of angry white politicians and angry black politicians and angry politicians, angry old people who can really mess up my life. I created this channel because I wanted to share my love for these things with people that I care about and people that care about me, want to see me succeed, and people that have some of the same interests, or people who are interested in getting into the same interests. That's why whenever I review a comic book, I would give suggestions on similar stories, regardless of where they came from, to try and help get people a starting point. You know, despite all the teasing, when I got to college, I ran an animation club. And we made short films, and it was really good. After that, I ran a comic book club where I taught people how to make comics. And those were amazing experiences for me, and that's where this channel came from. I wanted to share that kind of love and that kind of appreciation for these interests with other people. Try to bring it to a bigger audience, and I feel like it was just about to succeed. Now it feels like my work in YouTube is ended before it's really taken off. Anyway, long and short of it, this is a hard time for creators. Some of them it's a hard time financially, but for most, if not all, this is a hard emotional time. I imagine I'm not the only one here who's feeling personally attacked for their interests and feeling like they're being punished for the kind of person they are or the kind of values they hold. I never wanted anyone to get hurt while watching my videos, and as a consequence, that combined with my love for these things has branded me a kids channel. Which is probably the worst thing that could happen. Anyway, just do a couple of things for me. Yeah? Just check out the website, leave a comment, go on Twitter and tell a YouTuber you love them, that you're thinking of them. Because this can't be easy for anyone. And I don't know. The law, when you look at it, it's unfair. It doesn't make any sense. It's going to hurt a lot of people. I don't think this is a silly thing. I don't think this is a silly thing to pray about. I mean, or just whatever you can do. This is so much bigger than my little channel with my 60 wonderful subscribers. This is huge. This is a blow to free speech. This is a blow to personality. It's like there's no room for childlike wonder anymore. Well, I don't know. It's kind of a sobering episode, I know, but it's important, and I feel like it needed to be talked about. So, I hope you can forgive my rambling here. But, I mean, you know, heaven willing, if there is a next time. Thank you for joining me. Have a great day. Remember to always be your best self.